Good morning, all of you. So in the last class, we discussed about how to calculate the capacitance when two or more dielectrics are placed in a capacitor, and we also calculated about how to calculate the capacitance, effective capacitance, if the dielectric constant of the dielectric is variable, right? And so now let us see some more problems based on this dielectrics, so that you will get the more clarity about this dielectric, how those dielectrics will affect the different parameters in a capacitor related to the capacitor. So I am taking this one of the problem here. Let us say this. So here two identical capacitors are connected to a cell of EMF V. Let us consider here EMF of the cell is V. So those two are charged by connected in series to a cell of EMF V. Then after completion of charging, we are introducing this dielectric here, so that we need to calculate like final charges on the capacitors, on the final potential difference across the capacitors. So we need to discuss those parameters, right? So write it as a problem. So two identical capacitors, each of capacitance C. Two identical capacitors, each of capacitance C, are connected in series to a cell of EMF V. To a cell of EMF V. After completion of charging of the capacitor, a dielectric of dielectric constant K, is introduced in capacitor C2. In brackets you may write that completely fills the space between them. So that means we are not a slab here, it is completely filling the space between them. It is inserted in a capacitor C2. By continuing, the battery remains connected in the circuit. Find the final charges on the capacitors and the final potential difference across the capacitors. And they may ask like the ratio of the charges or the ratio of potential differences, or they may ask a theoretical question like whether the potential difference across the C1 is increasing or decreasing, and similarly whether C2 is increasing or decreasing. They may ask the different types of questions like that. So let us derive an expressions for these charges and the potential, so that we can answer easily such a type of questions, right? So the initial I am writing here, that means before inserting that dielectric here. So that means now initially you can write that as both are in series, so that C effective will be equal to C by 2 you will get here, that C effective value, and then potential difference across that each one, if I am taking it as V1 and V2, potential difference across this each capacitor I am taking like V1 and V2 initially. And so that as both are identical capacitors initially, so you can also conclude that the potential difference across that each capacitor will be equal, which is equal to half of the cell here. So that I can also write this as V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V by 2 we can write. And the initial charge on this each capacitor will be same, like Q1 is equal to Q2, because both are in series here. So Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to, then we can write this as C effective into V you can write, because both are in series, and therefore this Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to you can write this as CV by 2. That is the initial information here, the initial potential or initial charge, and the initial information is about that. Now once that dielectric is introduced, so let us see these final values here. So that means now finally the capacitance also I am writing here, C1 is equal to C and a C2 value. The capacitance of this capacitor is not C now, because now we are introducing the dielectric, so this capacitance also will changes there. So that means now it becomes K times that of C, because we are completely filling the space between them, right? And so that is K into C. And next what we can write is you can write the effective capacitance you can write here. So effective capacitance is both are in series, C1 C2 by C1 plus C2, so that it will be like Kc by K plus 1 you will get if you substitute that C1 and C2 values, right? and so generally that capacitance is greater than 1 you will get here. And so now that effective capacitance is decreasing here, right? Because it is K by K plus 1 we are getting here. So that ratio will be less than 1. So that effective capacitance, this is this effective capacitance here. Next let us write this ratio here. That means that final charges. The Q1 dash and Q2 dash I am assuming here, the final charges on them. And still you need to observe that both are in, still both are in series only. As both the capacitors are in series, finally also the charge on them will remain same. So charge will changes when compared to the initial, but the final charge on both the capacitors will be same only. So that you can write this as C effective into V again you can write. Therefore this Q1 dash is equal to Q2 dash is equal to, so it is K into CV by K plus 1 we can write. So that is that value here. And next final potential differences you can write here. So final potential differences I can write this as V1 dash by V2 dash is equal to, we can write this as in series that capacitance, that means it is the inverse ratio of the capacitance here, potential difference ratio will be, so C2 by C1 you can write, because this V1 dash you can write as Q by C, and this is Q by, that means Q by C1 and Q by C2, so that we are writing it as C2 by C1, so which is nothing but this K by 1, right? And actually we calculated the charge and we know the capacitance, from that also you can calculate. So general procedure I am writing here. So as we know the charge and as you know the capacitance, you can write that potential difference as Q by C formula also you can apply. So general ratio method I am writing here. So therefore this V1 dash is equal to K by K plus 1 into this ratio, we need to divide this total potential difference, which is V. So that is our potential difference V1 dash value, and V2 dash value we can write this as, so V2 dash value is equal to, I can take this as 1 by, that means V by K plus 1. So that is the potential difference across the first capacitor and potential difference across the second capacitors there. So that is that values here. And sometimes they may ask that ratio between initial and final comparison they may ask here. So that means if you are finding the ratios here, that means for C1 I am writing this ratio here. So this is final capacitor, final potential difference by initial potential difference I am writing here. So final potential difference is Kv by K plus 1 by, this is V by 2 you will get here. And so that this is V1 dash by V1 is equal to, which is nothing but 2K by, 2K by K plus 1 you will get. So this is the potential difference values there, right? That means the ratio of final potential to initial potentials of that C1, right? So that is a C1 for C1, that is the ratio. So now you can observe these ratios, whether that means sometimes as I said they will ask like whether potential difference is increasing or decreasing across that particular capacitors. Now just by taking this ratio now we can observe that, and in general that K value will be greater than 1. That means dielectric constant of a dielectric is greater than 1. For air it is 1, and so it is approximately 1, and for other than any medium then this dielectric constant will be greater than 1 you will get, right? And so when it is greater than 1, this ratio will be greater than 2 you will get. You can check just by taking some values, any like 2, 3, 4 you can check that. Like suppose if I am taking K is equal to 2, then here 4 you will get, and 4 by 3 greater than 1. If you are taking it as for example 4, then here it is 8 you will get, and this value will be 5 you will get, 8 by 5, so which is greater than 1. So that means this ratio will be greater than 1. So finally that means from this what we can write is final potential difference is greater than this initial potential difference across C1. So that means across C1 in which there is no dielectric, that potential difference will increases. So once you are introducing the potential difference, that means once you are introducing the dielectric in that C2, then potential difference across C1 will increase. So mention that. So therefore potential difference across C1 increases. Even if they ask about the ratio of their charge ratio, you will get the same charge ratio, because that Q is equal to you can take, or otherwise V is equal to Q by C you can write, or otherwise you may take this initial charge and final charge you already mentioned there, that ratio you may consider that. Then you will get that final charge will be greater than that of initial charge you will get, because that I mentioned already, like final capacitance, effective capacitance will be greater than that of initial effective capacitance. Final effective capacitance is this one, Kc by K plus 1, and initial capacitance is C by 2. So right, so that means now this value will be more here. Again you can check by taking the K value. I said that K value is greater than 1, and so now you may consider like K is equal to 2 if you consider, then it is 0.5 C, C by 2 means. Now if it is K is equal to 2, if I consider here 2 by 2 plus 1, 2 by 3 will get, which is 0.666 or 67 you may consider, which is greater than that. Or you may consider for example 3. So 3C by 4 you will get, 3 by 4 means then 0.75. So that means that capacitance is increasing, effective capacitance is increasing there. So then so that effective capacitance is increasing in the sense final charge will be greater than that of initial charge. This is common for both the capacitors, because same amount of charge will exist on the both the capacitors there, right? And next, if suppose if I ask that how the potential difference across that C2 is changing. C2 means it is the capacitor in which we are placing the dielectric there. So that means for this C2, again I am writing the ratio of these two initial and final potential differences there. And so that this is V by K plus 1 by initial potential difference will be V by 2. And so that now we are getting like 2 by K plus 1, as K is greater than 1 always. So this value will be always greater than 2 you will get, right? Because K is always greater than 1, and so this ratio will be less than 1 you will get. And so that then potential difference across this C2 is decreasing. So C1 is increasing means automatically C2 should decrease here. That you can directly answer, because the total potential difference should remains constant. Total V1 plus V2 value will be always V only. So that now here potential difference across C2 is decreasing. C2 decreases. So that is the effect of this dielectric when you are placing in such a series combinations there, right? So it's an important model. That means they may ask either ratios or potential difference they may ask, or they may ask like critically they may ask like this. You should understand this total calculations here. Next, there will be some energy calculations will be there based on this, or some work done calculations will be there based on this dielectric. And sometimes they will ask the graphs. Such a different questions they may ask here. The basic concepts are just you need to understand that what we discussed in our previous class, how it affects the different parameters. That if you understand that, you can answer any type of such a questions there. Like when battery is present and when battery is removed, we discussed some basic cases. So first I will explain the graphs related to that. Sometimes they will ask the graphs, which is an important question, and after that I will explain the remaining models here, like work done related or energy related questions. That means this is a positive plate here. This positive plate is suppose say placed at x is equal to 0, right? This corresponds to x is equal to 0. And here some at here some I am placing some two dielectrics here. So two slabs are placed here, out of which this one is a conducting plate. This is some conducting plate, and this is the dielectric here. This is the dielectric of thickness D. This is the negatively charged plate here. So right, this is say suppose having some positive plate, and this is having some negatively charged plate here. So this x is equal to 0, and this x is equal to say 5D, and this is say x is equal to D, and x is equal to 2D. This x is equal to 3D, and x is equal to 4D. That means the thickness of this each slab is also D, I am assuming here. So this is a conductor. So this is conductor, and this is the dielectric. Right? So then write that. So then in a capacitor, consider the capacitor shown in figure. Consider the capacitor shown in figure. The positively charged plate is placed at x is equal to 0, and a negatively charged plate is placed at x is equal to 5d. X is equal to 5d. And two slabs of thickness d, of which one is conductor and other is dielectric, are placed parallel to the plates as shown in figure. Two slabs, one is of thickness d each, one is conductor and other is dielectric, is placed between the two plates as shown in figure. Right? Then draw the variation of potential versus distance when we move from positive plate to negative plate. When we move from positive plate to negative plate. Also draw the variation of electric field with the distance. Also draw the variation of electric field with the distance. That means same variation when you are moving from positive plate to negative plate. X is equal to 0 to x is equal to d. So first I am drawing the variation of field because you know about the field already very well. So first I am drawing the variation of the field here. Then after that you can draw about the variation of this potential. So just I am taking this as some y axis variation. This is electric field here, and this is say some distance, right? X axis. So now can you say how the electric field will changes? If I ask here in this region, what's the electric field in that region? So the electric field in that region will be, which is in air here. That means in air medium we can write it as sigma by epsilon naught, because the electric field due to this and electric field due to this, the electric field in that region we can write it as sigma by epsilon naught. And so that means now which is having some value here, and a constant value when you are moving from here to here, right? So when you are moving from positive plate to negative plate, that electric field, whatever its value is there, that value will remain constant here. So that means now I can represent here, this is a constant value until this x is equal to d. Right? So that is a variation in this first step here. Next, from d to 2d, that is a conductor. What is the electric field inside the conductor? In electrostatics, now here it is statics only, because the charges are not flowing inside the conductor here, right? So then what is the electric field inside the conductor? We know very well the electric field inside the conductor is 0. That means when you are moving from this d to 2d, the electric field should be 0. So from d to 2d, the electric field will be 0. So that means it coincides with this x-axis here. So this is from x is equal to d to 2d, right? So there is no field. And next again from 2d to 3d, again we are in air medium only. So air medium is an electric field will remain same as that of our previous value here. So this is just that representation. So that means now we can represent this as so that electric field will remains constant here, which is nothing but say some E or A naught, the electric field in air medium, right? This is from d to x is equal to 2d to x is equal to 3d, right? And next from 3d to 4d, a dielectric medium is there. So then in dielectric medium, how the electric field is varying here when you are moving from one side to other side? How the dielectric field, dielectric is, that means inside the dielectric, how the electric field is varying. So we discussed already there, and we derived the bound charge expression also. Electric field inside the medium will decrease just by k times, right? Its direction will be same as that of external only, because here some induced charges will be produced here. Because of induced charge, some electric field will be there along this direction, which is opposite to the applied electric field here. So that the magnitude of electric field inside the dielectric will be less than the external outside the field. and we discussed already that expression, it decreases by k times here. So that means now here the electric field in this region from D to 3D to 4D will be less than that of electric field in air medium here, right? So you need to represent like this. This is from x is equal to D to x is equal to 4D. That is inside this dielectric medium here. Next again from 4D to 5D. 4D to 5D we are in air medium. So air medium is again its value will remains constant here. So that then for this period then again this value will be a constant value. So this is from x is equal to 5D until this 5D. So it is a variation of this electric field will be here. Suppose here you may consider some, this is E naught here. Then here corresponding to this you will get this value like E naught by K, where K is the dielectric medium there. So it is a electric field in the different variation of the electric field when you are traveling from this x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 5D, or from positive plate to negative plate. And now let us draw the variation of this potential here. Variation of this potential when you are traveling from this positive plate to negative plate. So this is V and this is say X. Now variation of this potential we need to draw here. So generally we know if suppose all these dielectrics are not there, let us take vacuum is there between those two plates. So when you are moving from this positive plate to negative plate, some potential goes on decreasing, because we know if nothing is there here in a capacitor, if suppose these dielectrics all not there here, only air medium is there here, this is a positive plate, and the electric field will be along this direction. Electric field direction is from positive plate to negative plate. And we discussed already in electrostatics, like when you are traveling in the direction of the field, potential goes on decreasing, right? So when you are moving from positive plate to negative plate, potential goes on decreasing here. And we know that variation of the potential also we can write it as minus dE by dt or dx or dr we can write here in general, right? And so that is the potential, negative potential, that means that potential variation there, the negative sign is, the indication is nothing but when you are traveling in the direction of the field, potential goes on decreasing. So that means now it goes on decreasing here, but just its variation will be different in different medium, that you need to observe here. So then when you are traveling from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to d, it is in air medium. So let us say in air medium it is decreasing here. So in air medium it is decreasing, right? Next, from x is equal to d to 2d, x is equal to d to 2d means we are inside the conductor. We are inside the conductor means how the field potential changes. So how the potential changes means we need to observe first how the field changes. So then here field is 0. Field is 0 means then potential difference should be 0. That means potential should also be a constant inside this, because this E is nothing but we are writing it as minus dV by dr, right? This E is equal to minus dV by dr, negative gradient of this potential, we are writing it as field. Now this value is 0. So this value is 0 means then this V must be a constant value there. So that means from d x is equal to d to 2d, it is a constant value, right? That is from x is equal to d to 2d. And next again when you are traveling from 2d to 3d, again we are in air medium. So whatever the change is there here, similar change will be there here. So that means then here also this potential goes on decreasing here until this x is equal to d to 3d, right? And next from 3d to 4d, we are in dielectric medium. So in dielectric medium also we know that whatever the potential is there in air medium, for example in air medium V0 is there, then in dielectric medium it will be V0 by K times you will get. So potential will decrease by K times there. And so that such a similar change will be there. Potential is still decreasing, but it decreases by K times when compared to that of dielectric medium here. So that you will get this graph like this. Still it is decreasing only, right? This is until 4D. Then again from 4D to 5D, again we are in air medium. So again in air medium means then you will get again a similar change as that of 2D to 3D or from 0 to D. So that means then you will get this similar graph here. So these are variations of this potential here. This is say D, 2D, 3D, and this is 4D, and this is 5D. So D, 2D, 3D, 4D and 5D. So now this is a variation of this potential when compared to that of when you are moving from positive plate to negative plate here. So it is a variations of the field and potentials, right? This type of questions are also very important in this dielectrics here. Or sometimes they will ask only that field graph by inserting some dielectrics here. Like suppose this one plate is placed here and other plate is placed here. That means half of this is one plate here, one plate of this capacitor, and this is another plate of this capacitor having say positive charge Q and this is minus Q. Now here this is completely filled with this dielectric material, K1 is equal to 2 and this is K2 is equal to some 4, right? That means these are the two dielectric materials are inserted here. Now they will ask again the variation of this field versus distance. Electric field versus distance. That means in a dielectric, in a capacitor, two dielectrics of dielectric constants 2 and 4 are inserted like this. Then we need to just draw the variation of electric field inside this. So now if you understand this, you can answer any type of question here. If you understand these two graphs here. Now here inside this dielectric means we need to consider like this. That value will decrease by E naught by K times here. If E naught is the electric field in air medium, then in dielectric medium it decreases by E naught by K times here, right? So that means now both sides that space will be occupying by totally dielectric medium only. So both sides it is less than that of when compared to that of air medium. So just here what we need to represent here is, suppose I am taking this is x is equal to 0, x is equal to d, and let us take this as x is equal to 2d, right? From here to here the electric field will be like this. And then from here to here the electric field will be further less, right? It is half of that, because here you will get E naught by 2 and here you will get E naught by 4, right? Because that I said that electric field inside this will be given by E naught by K times here once you are introducing a dielectric. And so now here this in this region the electric field will be, that means the electric field will be somewhere here, half of this. So that is a variation here. This is 0, D and 2D, right? So just we need to draw this electric field like this. So it is electric field variation in such a cases there. So the graph types are also important. So remember this electric field and how to draw the electric field and how to draw this potential variations there. Next, some problems will be there based on this energy related and work done related. And let us discuss one more important question there, then you will get a more clarity about that. So just let us consider like half of this will be filled with the dielectric here. A capacitor of capacitance C. Suppose it is connected to a cell of EMF V here. Now what I am taking is half of this will be filled with this dielectric material here, right? And this is separation is D and area of these plates is A, and so that this will be A by 2. A by D is filled with this dielectric. So we need to answer now like different quantities here, like charge on the upper plate and charge on the lower half. So that is the important thing you should note here. So we know as these two are the metal plates here. Suppose we know if I ask to calculate this effective capacitance. So write it as a question first. Write the data. In the circuit shown below, half of the space between the plates is filled with dielectric of dielectric constant K. Find, first question in that, find effective capacitance Second one, total charge drawn from the cell, total charge drawn from the cell, and next question, find charge on the upper half of the plates and a charge on the lower half of the plates, right? So now here we know the general procedure. If suppose such a problem is given to us and if they are asking the effective capacitance, so generally what we will consider here is, suppose say let us take this as C1 and we consider this as C2, right? And so now that C1 expression we discussed, the total last class is based on this type of calculations only. So now I can consider this C1 is equal to epsilon naught into A by 2 by D, right? And so that this is epsilon naught A by 2D. This capacitance, upper half. Next, lower half. So lower half is nothing but this will be K epsilon naught A by 2 by D. And so that this value will be K epsilon naught A by 2D. Right? And let us assume that as some C naught here. So you can write this as some C naught by 2. And this value will be K C naught by 2. Where that C naught is nothing but we are taking it as epsilon naught A by D. That value we are taking it as C naught, right? And so now these are the capacitors here. Now we say generally how to find the effective capacitance then. These two capacitors are in parallel, right? Because here metal plate is common for both of them. So whatever the potential difference is there here, so the same potential difference will be there here also, right? And so that then this C1 and C2 are in parallel. Therefore, this effective capacitance we can write as C1 is in parallel with this parallel to C2. Therefore, the C effective value we can write this as C1 plus C2. And so which is nothing but C naught by 2 we can take common, so that you will get that value as so C naught by 2 plus K plus 1 into K plus 1 you will get, right? So it is our capacitance, effective capacitance of the system. And next here our next question is about they are asking like charges on this upper half and lower half. So is the charges on the upper half and lower half of the plate so different or it remains same? Charges on the upper half and lower half. This is totally single plate only which is connected to the cell here. Now my question is whether the charges on the upper half and lower half of the capacitor, lower half of that plate are same or different. So the charges must be different, because here we are saying that here whatever potential difference is there here, same potential difference will be there here also. So that the charges on this lower half will be lower half and upper half must be different, because here dielectric is there. Here suppose if same charge exists here, if potential difference here is suppose V0, then here it should be V0 by 2, because here the dielectric medium is there. If same charge exists, I am saying. So, but here the same charge is not possible. They will adjust themselves such that the potential difference across the combination will be same. So, the charges will be different here. So, charge on the upper half I am calculating here. So, charge on upper half. So, let it be Q1, charge on the upper half. So that's value we can write it as C1 into V, right? Because potential difference across the C1 or across the C2 will be same only, because both are in parallel with the cell here. So therefore I can write this as Q1 is equal to, I am writing in terms of that C0 here. So C0 into V by 2, that is the charge on this upper half. And now let us write the charge on the lower half. So charge on the lower half of this plate. Now this is Q2 is equal to, we can write similarly that C2 also potential difference across the C2 is also V only. Therefore I can write this as C2 into V, and therefore you can substitute that values as C2 value is nothing but K into C0 by 2 into V, right? And so now this is Q2 is equal to, we can write this as K into Q1. Is it clear? So the charge, because the C naught V by 2 is nothing but our Q1. So charge on the lower half is K times that of the charge on the upper half. Is it clear? So that is nothing but how it maintains the constant potential difference here. So charge on the lower half will increase by K times, so that when you are writing the potential difference, it will be still be equal to potential difference for this. Now the potential difference across this value, we can write it as Q2 by C2 you can write. Once check that the potential difference across this value. So this is nothing but K into CV naught into V by 2 by this value is nothing but Kc naught by 2. This C2 value. So which is nothing but you will get V only. Potential difference across that will be V only. So that once you introduce the dielectric and a battery remains still connected, then this additional amount of charge will be stored on this capacitor here. Additional amount of charge will be flowing through this cell, flowing from the cell, and that will store on that capacitor there, right? And so that then charges on the lower half and upper half will be different, and that is a way of calculating the charges. Is it clear? So this is also important, and sometimes they will ask about this theoretically also, whether the charge on the upper half is greater or lower half is greater there. So is it clear? This Q2 value is greater here. So this K value is greater than 1 always, so that this Q2 value is greater than that of Q1. That means once you introduce the dielectric in the lower half, the charge in the lower half of this capacitor will increase, right? So that is another important information you need to note here. So this also, from this also you can understand, like this capacitor is suppose say connected to a cell like this, to a cell of EMF V, and this is initially C naught, let us consider here capacitance, right? Now initially the charge on that we can write it as Q naught is equal to, we can write it as C naught into V. Now once I am introducing this dielectric here, which completely fills the space between them, then again the potential difference will be finally V only, right? But actually, as I discussed in our previous classes, the effect of dielectric once you before closing the, that means when the cell is present and cell is absent, we discussed it in detail. So there you should observe that once if you introduce the dielectric, what actually happens is electric field and potential will decrease. So now as the potential here decreases, this battery now will send some additional charge here. That additional charge is nothing but what we calculating there. So now that final charge, suppose say Q is equal to, what we can write it is K into C naught into V, because once you introduce the dielectric, that charge goes on increase, that means capacitance goes on increasing here, and so that this will be the final charge. So that means actually when you are introducing this dielectric, potential difference will decrease. So as the potential difference is decreasing here, the battery will send some additional charge to that capacitor to increase its potential. So until it sends the charge, until the potential difference across this capacitor will becomes equal to V. And so that now this will be the final charge stored on that capacitor here. So in such a type of questions, they will ask like find the additional charge transferred from cell to capacitor, or additional charge transferred by the or sent by the capacitor here. So that is nothing but now the difference you need to calculate here. So K minus 1 into C naught into V you will get. So now this additional charge is supplied by the cell to this capacitor here, right? So that means once you are introducing the dielectric, the potential difference will decrease. But once the battery is connected, still maintained in the circuit, then what will happen is the battery will supply some additional charge, so that the charge on the capacitor will increase and potential difference will remain constant. You can check in our table which we discussed in our last class. When battery is connected, we mentioned like potential difference remains constant and the charge increases. So this is the actual reason here. So once you are introducing, potential difference decreases, but as the battery is still maintained in the circuit, the battery will send some additional charge, so that the charge on the capacitor will increase and potential will be maintained as a constant there. Next, let us see some energy related and work done related questions here. So like here a simple question will be there, like a dielectric is That means two capacitors, identical capacitors are connected like this in parallel with a cell. So this is a one capacitor and another capacitor is connected through a switch here. Right? So now this is our situation here. And so now in this, this is suppose say V, and this is capacitance C, and this is also C. Now this is a switch S here. Now here the question is, so initially this S is kept closer here. So note down that question. In the circuit shown in figure, two identical capacitors, each of capacitance C, two identical capacitors, each of capacitance C, are connected in parallel with a cell of EMF V as shown in figure. Initially the switch S is closed. So that capacitors are completely charged. After that S is opened and a dielectric constant 3 is introduced in the capacitor as shown in the figure, which completely fills the space between the plates. Then find the ratio of initial energy stored in the system to final energy stored in the capacitors. That means system of capacitors. Initial energy stored in the capacitor to final energy stored in the capacitors. Both the capacitors system. So let us do the initial calculation here. Initially, that means the switch is closed here and this dielectric is not there, right? And so that you can write easily that initial energy here. So the initial charge on them will be, you can write this as Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to, which we can write it as CV because both are in parallel. And I can write directly the initial energy because potential difference across each capacitor will be V only. So I am writing that initial energy here. Therefore, that initial energy is equal to half C V square plus half C V square we need to write. So this is the initial energy here. So which is nothing but CV square. Let's suppose say this is the equation 1. Next, this is initially. So this data is initially here. And next let us consider it finally. So finally let us consider the situation now. So finally this will be still continued in this. Let us name this as, for example, C1 and this is C2 here. I am naming this as C2, right? And so that now it is still continued in this circuit here. That means so that its potential difference will be still V only. But here it is now isolated. Once the switch is open means now it is an isolated capacitor here. So the energy is stored in C1 and C2. I am writing it separately now so that we can add them. I am writing it as energy stored in C1. So that I am taking it as U is equal to half C V square, right? So for this C, again still the potential is V only. But for this the potential difference is not V here, right? Because it is disconnected. So then for this, how to calculate energy means energy is stored in C2. So this value what we can write is Q square by or Q2 square by 2C2 we can write here, right? That is a formula. I will substitute the numericals. Just I am using that Q square by 2C. Why I am taking Q square by 2C means this capacitor is isolated. So the charge on the capacitor will remain constant once the capacitor is isolated. So whatever the initial charge is there, the same amount of charge will remain here. Therefore, you can write this U2 is equal to Q2 value is nothing but CV whole square by 2 into, now this C2 means that will become K times that of C, because we are introducing the dielectric here. Once the dielectric is introduced, the capacitance of the capacitor will becomes increased by K times, and so that here the capacitance will become Kc here, and so that this value you can write this as Cv square by 2K you can write here, right? That K value is given for us 3, you can substitute that. Therefore final energy in the system, so final energy in the system you can write it as in the system of charges, U is equal to, or U final is equal to U1 plus U2 you can write here, and therefore it is nothing but half Cv square, U1 is half Cv square plus Cv square by 2 into that K value I am substituting here. K value is nothing but 3, right? And so now let us take this LCM here. This you will get like if you are taking LCM here, 3 plus 1 4, you will get 4 Cv square by 6 LCM, and so which is nothing but 2 Cv square by 3 you will get. And now you can take the ratio of these two values here, and therefore this is final energy to initial energy I am writing here, final energy ratio to initial energy ratio, so which is 2 Cv square by 3 by this initial energy is Cv square, so that this ratio will be 2 by 3 will get. So that will be the ratio of energy stored in those in that system here before inserting this dielectric and after inserting this dielectric here. The same problem will be there in previous advanced question, like they will ask like when the dielectric, identical dielectric is inserted in both the capacitors here. We are taking only in one capacitor is inserted. Now solve the same problem if this dielectric is inserted in both the capacitors here, and the same question, same condition, initially it is closed and then we are opening this. So solve that problem there when this dielectric is inserted between those plates of both the capacitors there, right? Next here some work done calculations will be there here actually, and those work done equations again you can solve by using our conservation of energy calculations, what we did in our previous heat generated calculations. So heat produced in the circuits we discussed in our previous classes, so such a similar mechanism now we need to use here. So whether you are inserting the dielectric or whether you are removing the dielectric. So like suppose initially I am taking an example like this dielectric is already present here, right? This dielectric is, let us consider it as a completely filled here. This dielectric is completely filling the space between those two plates, and so now we are pulling it out here by applying some external force. By applying some external force we are pulling it slowly, so that is important thing here. We are pulling it slowly without any acceleration for that slab here, right? So now we need to calculate that work done by our external force. So just let us take an example based on this. So then after that we need to, for all such type of problems, so just you may mention that work done, this is work done in placing a dielectric or removing a dielectric. That means sometimes the already dielectric may be present in between the plates and we need to remove that, or already initially it is not there, then we need to insert that. So that means whether both the calculations are similar only, work done either to place the dielectric or to remove the dielectric. And so for all those what we need to consider here is just to mention that when dielectric is placed in a capacitor or removed from a capacitor, we displace the capacitor slowly. We displace the capacitor very slowly. We displace the capacitor very slowly so that heat produced in the circuit is heat produced in the circuit is negligible. Heat produced in the circuit is negligible. So that is the important thing you should note here. Heat will be produced in a quick process. So quick process means in the previous all problems which we calculated, there is a quick process there. Switch opening or switch closing, whatever the circuits, whatever the changes we are doing, such a quick changes we are doing there. So in a quick changes, definitely some lot of heat energy will be there. So like generally simply we can write this H is equal to integral of I square R into D, or simply I square R T you may consider here. If the process is taking place infinitely slow process. So if it is infinitely slow process, then what will happen is this I is nothing but dq by dt, right? Or q by t. This t value tends to infinity here. We are displacing it very slowly. All this process what we are going to discuss here, infinitely slow process. So infinitely slow process means then this I value will be tends to 0. Almost the charge will flow through the circuit very slowly. So when the charge is flowing through the circuit is very slowly, then I value is also tending to 0. When I value is tending to 0, then H value also tends to 0. That means we consider that if some heat may be produced, but it is negligibly small. Very small amount of heat will be produced, and so that we don't consider that such a type of heat calculations here. So whenever it is mentioned like when it is dielectric is displaced slowly or removed slowly, inserted slowly or removed slowly. So such a type of problems. So that then we need to neglect that heat calculations here. So then our conservation of energy, what we mentioned already there. So we know conservation of energy is equal to U initial plus work done is equal to U final plus heat, right? Heat produced. So that means for slow process, heat produced is tends to 0. That means negligibly small, we can neglect that. Therefore this U initial plus W is equal to U final, right? This is the equation we are going to use here, and therefore this is U initial plus, or I can write this as work done is equal to U final minus U initial, right? And now this work done means we calculated in our previous cases, we calculated like work done by the cell only, right? In that heat generated problems, work done by the cell only we consider there, because in closing or opening the switches, work done is almost 0. And so, but here work done by the external agent is also will be there, because we are pulling the dielectric slowly, whether we are pulling it out or pulling inwards. So we are pulling, some external agent is doing some work here. So both the work done will be there here. So that means now here this W means work done by the cell, that means our battery, plus work done by the external agent. Is it clear? So that will be equal to U final minus U initial. Where work done by the cell means we know already its calculation here. So therefore here this value we can write it this as, so EMF of the cell into Q final minus Q initial we need to write. This is delta Q value, work done by the cell plus work done by the external agent is equal to U final minus U initial we can write. So then this is the general equation what we need to use to calculate this work done by the external agents here. So from this equation we calculate this work done by the external agents. So external for work done by the external agent, this is a general method here, right? So that is a general equation to calculate the work done by the external agent. So first note this, and now let us write a numerical problem so that you will get a clarity about that. So for both the process, whether you are inserting the dielectric or whether you are removing the dielectric, then in both the cases that work done we can calculate by using this equation. So now write a problem. A capacitor of capacitance, say its capacitance is 2 microfarad I am taking here, and this is this battery EMF is 100 volts, and this dielectric constant I am taking as some 4. A capacitor of capacitance 2 microfarad is completely filled with a dielectric, of dielectric constant 4. and it is connected to a cell, of EMF 100 volts as shown in figure. After a long time, that means after charging of the capacitor, after a long time means after completion of charging of the capacitor, the dielectric is pulled out of the capacitor very slowly. The dielectric is pulled out of the capacitor very slowly. Then find amount of work done by the external agent, in this process. Right? So now this is the equation what we are going to use now for this problem. So let us write the data what we need here. So let us write initial energy and final energy, or initial charge and final charge. So let us write the total data here. So I am writing like first initial capacitance. So initial and final I am writing the data here. So we can substitute. Once let us write the initial and final, then you can directly substitute in our equation. So then initial I am writing here. So capacitance is C, 2 into 2 microfarad, and final initial charge I am writing here. So let it be Q1 or the Q initial. So this value we can write as C initial into V. So which is initially dielectric is present. So here mention that 2 microfarad without dielectric, that is given there. Mention this in brackets there. 2 dielectric, that means 2 microfarad is without dielectric, this capacitance value. So here we need to write it as K times. So K into this value we need to write, so which is 8 microfarad you will get. Is it clear? This 2 microfarad is without dielectric, this is the capacitance. Now initially this dielectric is there, and so that we need to take it as 4 times out of that value, K into that value. Kc, this value is simply nothing but. And so that now this is the initial data here, or from this you can calculate the initial energy also. Let us directly substitute in the equations there, right? And so next finally. So finally what we can write here is final capacitance C2, or let us write C final. So C final is nothing but only C only, right? That means we are removing this dielectric here. So it is 2 into 2 microfarad. This value is nothing but 2 microfarad. And now the final charge I am writing here. So the final charge. So the final charge is nothing but C final into V. V value will remain same, still that battery is continued in that circuit. And so that it is, so initial charge is, we need to change here, 8 into that V, 800 microcoulombs. This is because C value is Kc we need to take, so it is 8 into V, 800. So now it is 2 into 100, so it is 200 microcoulombs, right? And so now let us write the data which we need here. So next I am writing is work done by the battery I am writing here. Work done by cell. So this value will be equal to work done by cell is equal to, we can write this V into Q final minus Q initial. Therefore this work done by cell is equal to V is 100 and a Q final is 200 minus this is 800, and therefore 600 you will get, and into this is 10 power minus 6 joules you will get here, because these are in microcoulombs. And so that this value I can write this as minus, so 6 into 10 power minus 2 joules, right? That means here 600 and into this 10 square you will get, so that is 10 power 4 you will get, so 10 power minus 2 joules. That is work done by the cell. Now let us use our conservation of energy here. So by conservation of energy, work done by the cell plus work done by the external agent is equal to U final minus U initial, change in energy. Now we can substitute those numericals as we need the work done by the external agent. So let us write this work done by the external agent is equal to U final minus U initial plus work done by the cell we need to write here. So now say this work done by the external agent, now we can write it as work done by the cell, sorry, change in potential energy minus this work done by the cell. I am writing this work done by the cell this side. And now you can substitute these values here. U final is nothing but you can write this expression as half C V square formula. So C means C final we need to write. So final is 2. So half into 2 into 100 square minus half into C initial, that is 8. So then 8 into 100 into 100 square, and both are in microfarads it is given, so that I am taking the 10 power minus 6 common, and this is work done by the cell is minus of minus 6 we are getting here. So this is our expression. So then you can simplify this equation, then here they will get 1 minus 4 into 10 power minus 2, this 10 power you can simplify there, and then here it is plus 6 into 10 power minus of minus, you will get that as plus. So plus 6 into 10 power minus 2 you will get. So then finally we are getting this work done by the external agent as plus 3 into 10 power minus 2 joules we are getting here, right? So that is the amount of work done in removing this dielectric here. So whether it is inserting or removing, the procedure is same. We need to apply this this type of calculation only, right? So that means here actually we need to apply the force like this, because there will be some attractive force between the dielectric and the capacitor here. So that means that because of induced charges, here it is suppose a positively charged plate, this is positively charged plate, and we know on the dielectric negative charge will be induced here. So for this is a negative charged plate here for the capacitor, and here positive charge will be induced here, right? And so there exists some attractive force between them. So capacitor will attract the plate like this, it will exert the force on the dielectric like this. So against that we need to apply an equal amount of force here. So that is why we are getting this positive amount of this work done here, right? So that means whether it is inserting or whether it is removing the dielectric, the procedure is same. So this is the equation what you need to apply here, and because in such a cases that heat generated is negligible. If any heat is also producing in that, they will give that heat generated value, how much amount of heat is produced in that. Then you can substitute in our original conservation of energy equations, right? So you can practice all those type of problems by the same method here, conservation of energy method. Let us see here, I will explain one more problem based on this dielectric here. So about this force also actually we need to calculate here with how much force this capacitor will attract the dielectric. The force acting on the dielectric due to that capacitor, that I will explain in our next class. So that force calculation also, for force also we need to derive an expressions there. As the pulling out we discussing here, let us consider here I am giving a problem like a capacitor is pulled out here. So this capacitor of dielectric completely filled here with the dielectric of dielectric constant V. Now it is slowly pulled out with this constant velocity here, right? So we need to calculate capacitance of the capacitor at any instant of time we need to calculate here. It is say still so this is slowly pulled out here. We need to calculate the capacitance. These dimensions of these plates are supposed to this is D, and these dimensions you may consider like L into B. A rectangular plate it is actually, then you can consider it as L into B. So note down that problem. A capacitor of plate area L into B and separation D is completely filled with a dielectric of dielectric constant K. At T is equal to 0, the dielectric is slowly pulled out with the constant speed V, Then find the capacitance of the capacitor, at any instant of time. at any instant of time. So this is at t is equal to 0. This is our situation here. This is at t is equal to 0. Now let us consider the situation at some instant of time here. So at some instant of time I am taking the situation like this. So that means some part is already taken out here that I am taking here. So some part of this dielectric is already taken out. This is set t is equal to some time t. And so how much part it is taken out means then this distance we can write it as v into t, because it is moving with the constant velocity v here. So that this distance we can write it as v into t here. This distance up to here it is v into t. And so this remaining distance we can write it as L minus V into T, because this total length is given as L here. This dimension is L and this dimension is, this plate is actually like this. This is our plate here. So this dimension is L and this dimension is B, you can consider there, right? And so this is our situation here. Now let us write the capacitance. You can write this as C1 and C2 values, and we can find the effective capacitance there. So C1 is equal to, I can write this as, this is at any instant we are writing here as a function of this time. So now here this epsilon naught into area of this plate we can write it as V into T into B. That means this distance is V into T, and this distance will be, as I said, this distance will be that remains same here. Sorry, up to here this capacitor plate. So then this distance will be B only, that remains same here for this capacitor here. And so that then by this distance separation between the two plates is d. Now this C2 expression, C2 means this part where the dielectric is still present. And so now that dielectric is present means k epsilon naught into that distance we need to write it as L minus Vt into B by d. Now that is C1 and C2 expressions. Now you know that C1 and C2 are in parallel, that we discussed already one of the problem here, because the potential difference between the plates of the capacitor will remain same. So that this value we can write this as C effective is equal to C1 plus C2 we need to write, because the C1 is in parallel with this C2. Just I am writing that notation, C1 is in parallel with this C2. Therefore this effective capacitance I can write this as epsilon naught A means there B into V into T by D plus this value is K epsilon naught into L minus Vt into B by D. And so let us take the common terms here. Epsilon naught B by D you can take common. Then this expression is Vt plus K into L minus K into V into T. And therefore you can simplify this expression as C is equal to epsilon naught B by D into this equation we can write it as K into L plus this K value you can take common here. When you are taking that K value common, or minus K, let us take common there, minus Vt. So if you are taking this minus Vt common, then K minus 1 you will get. So that is the expression for this capacitance there. So that when it is pulled out with the constant velocity, then this is the expression for the capacitance of the capacitor at that instant, at any instant of time. So right. So then there will be some force questions will be there. As I said, there will be attractive force between this capacitor and the dielectric here whenever it is pulled out or whenever you are inserting that. And so that force problem and some expressions and some problems will be there related to that. And those problems I will explain in our next class, right? Thank you.